he just ran to me and I was like posing for a photo, but like boring photo.
Right.
And he's just like knee down.
Oh my goodness! Oh, legendary moment.
Hi guys, welcome back to Nguyen channel. You know what? Today is Saturday and again I'm coming back with another episode in English. I'm so excited for my second video about expats in Ho Chi Minh City, expats in Saigon. So who will be a very special guest to be featured in my video today? Let's check it out.
Hello.
Hi Tim! Right. Long time no see you. How are you?
I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm really good. And okay. So are you ready for a whole show?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get down to business.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So let's get started, guys.
Hey guys, I won't be in the video because I am not a superstar today. The superstar is the people behind me. Ta-da! Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Are you excited? Have you ever been on a camera before? Like
Many times.
many times? Oh,
To my chagrin.
you were way experienced than I thought.
We
All
had a
right.
TV show. It was our trip in Malaysia.
We did have a TV show.
Oh really?
And lots of marketing events.
Super cool. Alright, so guys, first of all, let the audience know who you are.
Hello everyone, my name's Quyen and I'm from Vietnam. So it's really an honor today to be on the video with Mr. Long because we've been knowing each other for a long time. And yeah, normally in the daily life I like to reading books and like to play with dogs and I like my teddy bears and yeah, that's it.
My name's Tim. Timothy, if it's professional. Obviously, I like spending time with my lovely fiance, who introduced me to the excellent Mr. Lam. I like spending time with my dogs, working out, exercising, reading, and then regular stuff like playing video games and watching movies and all that sort of trash. Professionally, I am a teacher, just like a lot of expats here, I think.
Talking about your job as a teacher, how long have you been teaching in Vietnam?
Oh boy, a long time. Let me think quickly. For 7.5 years.
Wow.
7.5 years, yeah.
So you teach English, right?
I've done science, maths, but English seems to be like the more common job. So you know, ideally I'd like to teach like literature or history,
Yeah.
or something a bit more analytical, a bit more creative perhaps. But English is where the jobs are. So.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. And the question is, what brought you to Vietnam?
Honestly, I was in the UK and I knew I wanted to travel or have a new experience somewhere. And I had these job listings all over the world. And so I just wrote down where each job was and I Googled it. And Ho Chi Minh had the biggest population, it was the biggest city. And honestly, that's why I came. It was just the biggest one on the list. Yeah.
Given 7.5 years living in Vietnam, so what do you like the most about the country?
That's a hard question actually.
To pick one that you feel like, I'm really excited about it or something.
Actually, one thing I find living here a lot more than I get when I visit London or when I was living in London is that people are generally really friendly. Like, people are very, very friendly. And even if you're having like a super bad day or like a very stressful time, even like a stranger will be cool to chit chat, you know, or just say something nice or just want to strike up a conversation. Whereas in London, people are a lot more reserved. And if you're having like a bad day or a stressful day, no one's gonna come up to you and ask like, how are you, or what are you doing here, or do you like my shop? They're just gonna kind of leave you alone. So. Yeah.
Okay, what do you like the least about Vietnam? Of course, the most on the list, right? Something that you were really annoyed about.
Okay, actually, I wouldn't say it's like annoying, but it definitely took me a long time to get used to the different personal boundaries here. Like people like touching a lot of like, especially other dudes, older men, like touching your arm or touching your shoulder.
Yeah.
Still makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I've learned that they're really friendly. People here are super friendly, and then like touching is part of that. So it's me being awkward, not so much something wrong with the culture.
Okay.
It's like how I react to it. Yeah.
Alright. And how long have you been in your relationship?
Well, I don't know, Gwynny, because there was a bit of a period when we were hanging out but not really in a
Yeah,
relationship.
I think what I tell from the day that we officially, so it's until August this year, so it would be 5 years.
Wow. Wow.
And we got engaged this March.
Yes. So sweet. All right.
Yeah, it is exciting, but also very challenging because this is COVID period, and his family cannot come here this time, so we haven't planned anything yet. But let's see how it goes.
All right. So the big day is on the way.
Big days on the way.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Right. Maybe the same question for you guys. Cause I think that you guys not the only couple that a guy from another country and a girl from Vietnam. Because there's a lot of like couple like you guys. So my question here is like what is it like having a non-English girlfriend? And the same question for you, like what is it like having a boyfriend who is not Vietnamese? It's a hard question, right?
Yes, it's not an easy question. However, it is very different. It's a whole completely different things. It's different culture. Like my fiance is from the UK and I'm from Vietnam, and Vietnamese woman is famous of being really traditional and but then English culture is so different.
Right.
And a lot of people talk about us like like I'm with a foreigner, like because I want to go to UK, but I never had that idea. Like maybe study abroad, but even so, like I would choose like the place that I want to go, and I travel a lot, so that's not what I wanted.
We are so different that like when we first started dating, we had lots of arguments, and it was constantly
No, we didn't.
arguments like every single day. However, luckily we found the way to fix it. So we continue our relationship until today, and there's a lot of things to talk about, but we try our best to understand each other and to help each other to get better. So
That's cool. That's very cool. How about you?
Well, I don't know. With regards to like dating someone from a different culture, London's pretty multicultural. So I don't know. It's honestly something I never really thought about. Myself, I'm not like fully English. I'm a mixed race. So like the idea of dating someone from another culture or being involved romantically with someone from another culture is, I don't know. It's just never really. It's not something I've ever really thought about, to be honest. Not something I've ever really considered. But like an issue that came up that I really wasn't expecting was a lot of other foreigners were like, "Hey man, be careful. She wants your money." I did like I heard that quite a bit, and it was especially weird coming from my colleagues because we get paid the same, and we know we've got no money, so there's nothing to like be careful of, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that was definitely some weird feedback, and I don't know. I just think that maybe some people are, I'm a cynical guy, but maybe other people are very, very cynical.
All right.
And so that's just how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regarding like cultural differences, right? And given the fact that you are having a Vietnamese girlfriend, I'm sure that you have been, visiting her family a lot, right? Are there any, kind of culturally, awkward moment that you have faced, the last few years?
Awkward?
Yeah, in her family or even in Vietnam in general?
drinking.
Drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, like, there's a few actually, now that I think about it. I think, okay, the most awkward was when her parents, like interviewed me to make sure I was suitable, but it wasn't really like an interview because they already knew me.
Right.
They already knew me quite well.
Okay.
And the questions were like, are you going to beat her up? Or... Yeah. But like they already knew me, and I think they were asking just because they felt like they had to ask. Yeah, so that was like, that was really awkward. And then the other one that happens quite often is when her family has a gathering. everyone wants to like party and have a good time, and that means drinking, which is cool. You know, I like a beer as much as anyone, but in English culture, you definitely don't want to get drunk in front of your girlfriend's family or your fiance's family, you know, or in the future your wife's family. Like that's you don't want to be super drunk. It's not so great. So that's some awkwardness there because they want to get loose and get down.
Yeah.
And something inside of me is like, hey man, you can't get that loose because what if you end up looking like an idiot and embarrassing yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, maybe getting back a little bit to your profession in Vietnam, teacher, right? Do you have any recommendations, any tips for those who want to go to Vietnam for teaching or leading or doing things here?
Yeah, actually, definitely. So, with regards to teaching, I think it's good if you have a clear idea of the sort of teaching you're interested in. So, I spent a few, like 3 years flitting around like primary, secondary, high school, adults, language center, public school, private school, and you know, it was a good experience, but I do think it was a bit of wasted time, really. Like if I had a clearer idea of where I wanted to focus my time, I think that would have progressed my career a lot quicker. Then there's the really boring stuff like paperwork. You've got to have your paperwork in order. Sort it all out well before you get here. You don't want to be sending documents back to the UK, having them sent back, and yeah, it's a big hassle. Yeah, and I think if you have time to maybe get an extra qualification or do some training, that always helps. I think a lot of people rock up with like a concept of how their classroom will be, and then they get into it and the reality is very different, and it's very challenging for them. So if you can get like some advanced training, get some experience somewhere where you're comfortable and everything's not super new, then I think that would help.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put on the professional things aside right now. When it's come to your daily life in Vietnam, what is your favorite things to do? Something you like to do together?
Wow, we can't do it very often right now due to the current climate. But when we can, and when we have some free time, we really love to travel.
Yeah, in fact, we travel to lots of places, and the last place that we went together was Saigon, and it was beautiful. It was wonderful, and I really loved it. How about you?
Well, we did get engaged. So, yeah, pretty cool, pretty special trip. But even without the engagement, Saigon was stunning. Really, really happy to go there. Totally different like climate and feel, so many ethnic minorities. So it was very, very different,
Really
but very, very
peaceful.
interesting. Very peaceful, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we did get engaged.
Oh, how sweet! Not many people watching is jealous, guys.
Well, moreover, we also like taking the dogs out, to the park, so they can have fun time. So they're running around, they're having so much fun. That's also make us feel really happy.
Yes.
And we also like gossiping about other people. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of gossiping.
Wow.
All right, can you share a little bit about that kind of surprise, proposal that you did?
Oh.
Yeah. So, did she know that that special thing is like coming on
I don't think
Stands?
I don't think she knew, but if she did know, maybe this is a good time.
a trip? Oh, that's so cool.
I didn't know. I didn't think that because he didn't actually have any, signal to show that he's gonna do that. So I remember it was on Women's Day.
Wow, what a day! What a special day.
we went to the very nice river in Saigon, and it's the most signature there. And if you ever go to Saigon, you have to go there.
Yeah.
But the way down and the way up was so difficult. Like when we were going down, it's less tiring. However, going up with like feeling like an old person. And so we were all going down during lunchtime. It was really hot, so we're all sweaty like crazy. And Tim kept telling me like, let's find a spot to take photos, which was quite unusual because he didn't like taking photos at all. And so yeah, he kept like, oh, let's find a rock to take photos. And I was like, okay, it's so hot.
Okay.
And then he kept like, is there a rock here? Is there a rock there? And I was like, let's go. And he was like, oh, here it is. I found a rock to take a couple photos. So he ran over there like a little kid and then plays his camera. He has a film camera and he plays on the rock. And I was thinking like this is not gonna happen. That photo, like that camera was so far away. I don't think he could actually capture any photo by that old film camera. And he just ran to me and I was like posing for a photo, but like boring photo. And he just like knee down.
Oh my goodness! Oh, legendary moment. Okay.
I mean, in my head was, oh my god, what is it? Oh no. And then obviously, you know what happened. And then I could see his face. He was like so stressed or something.
I was very nervous. I actually had a speech prepared, but I just forgot it. I couldn't. It came down to the moment, and I just couldn't keep it together, you know. So I just rambled. Said 1,000 words. Spoke way too quickly.
He said a lot of things that I couldn't understand. I was like, was it even English?
It was I was so nervous. So.
And yeah, and then after I said yes, and he just stood up and then he said like, I actually forgot everything that I prepared to say. So I said, okay, can you say it again, please? And then he said it again, and it was quite sweet.
Oh my goodness, wow, that's a beautiful moment. Right.
It was lovely.
It was very stressful. Because also, before you get engaged, you're carrying this giant ring around in your pocket. And it's in a box, you know. If anyone touches it, they'll be like, oh, what is that? And then the whole thing's ruined. So, I don't know, it was actually very nervous. I was so nerve-wracking that day. But all's well that ends well. She did say yes. And yeah, I think it was worth the nerves. And also worth doing in Ha Giang. It was really, really sweet.
Really cool.
Yeah,
So anyway, like congratulations on your engagement. And I cannot wait to be attending your wedding. Another big day.
Well, you'll be more than attending, buddy.
Well, being an MC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, deal. All right. How is your Vietnamese so far?
Oh yeah.
Thì dạo này, I would be em, right? And you'd be An.
Yeah, I'm older. I'll be older than you.
Dạo này em cảm thấy tiếng Việt của em là không tốt mà cũng không tệ, bởi vì sống ở đây lâu rồi thì mỗi ngày có câu chuyện là bình thường, anh khỏe không, làm gì đây, là câu hỏi đơn giản. Mà về đề tài phức tạp hơn, luôn quen từ, bởi vì về chính trị gia quen tất cả mọi thứ về đề tài đó, bởi vì how do I say, không nói nhiều và cảm thấy như tiếng Việt của em đang plateau, không lên không xuống mà mỗi ngày là bình thường.
Bảo hòa rồi. Tim có một số câu idioms của Vietnamese rất là hay.
Let's sit down. What are your favorites like Vietnamese slangs or idioms?
They're all really rude. Tất cả rất là thô lỗ.
There's some very normal.
Alright.
Nói đi.
Đó không phải là idiom. Vậy hả? Ok. Anh chào đại bác.
Again, please.
Anh chào đá bác.
Wow.
Anh chào đá bác.
What does it mean?
Dude, I honestly didn't know it was an idiom. I thought it meant like treacherous, like a treacherous individual, a treacherous person. But I guess it is an idiom. So.
What does that mean in English?
Treacherous would be like.
No. What's that sentence?
In English, it's like the kick the bowl after eating.
So people don't have gratitude for those who help them, right?
Yeah.
Just like forget it.
Another sentence. Dude, I don't know. Han xui. Han xui bỏ tay.
That's an expression.
Yeah. Con voi run lập cập.
Con voi run lập cập.
Tôi chuẩn bị leo cây.
So have you ever heard the term ngôn tình? The expression ngôn tình. Can you say something in ngôn tình in Vietnamese?
I don't think I've heard ngôn tình. Cheesy.
Okay.
Cheesy, yeah, cheesy.
Phô mai hả?
Cheesy. Nói đi.
Phô mai ngon sao kiện nướng.
Oh my god, thôi vậy nữa. Alright.
Okay. Đây là em yêu.
Oh wow, that's in moment.
Không phải em
That is
yêu.
cheesy.
Đây là vợ sắp cưới.
Oh wow.
Em ấy rất là mềm, rất là hiền. Càng ngày càng cảm thấy.
Oh my god, it's so sweet of you guys. It's so funny, but it's so sweet. That's so cool. Alright.
Yeah, your turn. Lượt của em.
Rồi, hết rồi.
Hết rồi, nói ngon tình đi.
Ngôn tình hả?
Okay.
Không biết nói ngôn tình.
Ngồi móc lơ đi.
Trơn.
Alright, that's so fun, guys. Well, I think it's so interesting to have a sort of conversation with you guys. By the way, you want to say something to the audience, especially those who are expats or people like non-Vietnamese who are, you know, planning to go to Vietnam for traveling or
Okay.
living.
Yeah, my advice would be maybe find the guy behind the camera because Winnie introduced him to me, and I know he helped Nguyen with a lot of stuff. He definitely helped me with a lot of stuff. They worked together in a non-profit, and it was very well organized, and they did a lot of good work together. And I don't know if COVID's all clear and you're still doing tours. Maybe you could look to Mr. Long for some advice.
Alright, so thank you so much guys for joining me today, and thank you so much for a super interesting conversation, and I think the people who watch this video are gonna love it a lot. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Long, for inviting us to the video. And obviously, there was so much silly moments in the video. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe Mr. Long channel.
Wow, that's a very important point. Thank you so much for saying it
Yeah.
for me. Okay guys, so that's it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed the story shared by Quyen and Tim. Okay, so if you're still interested in learning more about expat life in Ho Chi Minh City in Saigon, please comment in the comments below. Thanks again and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.